There is no agreement, all right? We know where our differences lie. We've worked throughout the day, and we'll continue to work to try to be able to solve the problem, but there is no agreement.
Well, that was House Speaker Kevin McCarthy yesterday saying that GOP negotiators in the White House are still working on a debt limit deal. This as President Biden is once again attacking proposed Republican spending cuts. Watch.
Speaker McCarthy and I have a very different view of who should bear the burden of additional efforts to get our fiscal house in order. I don't believe the whole burden should fall on the backs of middle class and working class Americans. Republicans passed a bill that would make huge cuts in important programs that millions of working and middle class Americans count on. Huge cuts in the number of teachers, police officers, Border Patrol agents, and increased wait times for Social Security claims.
Joining me now is Ohio Congressman and member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, Bob Latta. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Where are we this morning?
Well, you know, the Speaker said that we're going to be on a 24-hour notice to get back to Washington as they continue on with these negotiations. But it's important that everyone remember that you can't spend trillions of dollars like the Democrats did in the first 2 years of the president's 2 years in office and expect bad things not to happen. And we saw inflation go up over 9%, and Americans are feeling it. And so we've got to scale back. And the plans that we're putting out there right now are the ones I believe, and we believe, are going to help the American people and our economy. But we just can't keep going on like we are.
But we had been told, especially Fox had been told yesterday, Thursday, that there was a deal was close. This is sources talking to Chad Pergram, our congressional correspondent. But at the same time, you can't have a vote if everyone's gone. I mean, everybody. I know that you're saying a 24-hour, clawback and you jump back to D.C., but that doesn't seem very likely. So if we're pushing this to Tuesday, June 1st is the day that Janet Yellen says that we're going to be, we're going to start missing payments. Moody's actually put our AAA credit rating on negative watch due to this debt ceiling date that we're looking at here, June 1st. Do you worry about June 1st? Can we get there, or are we going to push past this?
Well, see, here's the other issue. We have in our rules a 72-hour rule. So once they post the bill, we can't vote on it for 72 hours. So, as soon as that bill comes up, they can get it online or the members can see it. We're going to be back there. So once we get it there, we can do it. But again, years back, I served on the Budget Committee. One of the numbers I've always watched is how much interest are we going to pay in 10 years out? And unfortunately, we've watched the number on our interest payment. It's probably going to hit $1 trillion by the year 2028. We can't keep this up. And so, as Republicans, we want to make sure that we get this thing done. We want to get it done right. But, I think that what we put on the table about the $4.8 trillion, reductions and having a spending cap out there, some clawback when it comes, especially all this COVID money that was put out there that really wasn't needed, that the Democrats spent.
Right.
And, the work requirements. So I think the American people are behind us on this, but I'm confident we're going to get it done.
Where do you think that the White House is going to be willing to negotiate? We've heard this week that possibly it's on the permitting issue, the COVID clawback money that you just mentioned as well. But there are some non-negotiables, according to the White House. Student loan debt, forgiveness, which frankly I think the courts are going to kill that anyway. I think the White House knows that. Is there any other piece of the negotiation right now in your mind that you're hearing where the White House is going to be willing to come to the table, even if it's just spending caps for 10 years? That's another idea that's been floated out there, a thought.
Well, and again, the president said he'd never negotiate. The Democrats said they'd never negotiate. Speaker McCarthy's been out for a long time saying he wanted to sit down with the president. And so the president's put this thing on the back burner, and he's finally getting to the table. So I'm not really sure that, what's coming out of the White House, what they will or won't do, something I'm going to listen to right now, because, again, they finally have sat down and started negotiating. But this is something that, again, they said they weren't going to do.
Hey there. So what about work requirements? I know that the most controversial ones are Medicaid work requirements, but also there's the debate about food stamp Medicare work food stamp work requirements. I mean, the specifics are not that demanding, right? It's 20 hours a week for only recipients age 19 to 50 and it excludes parents of dependent children. Is the White House willing to come to the table about work requirements?
Well, and again, the American people are behind that. You know, they see that, you know, when other people are out there right now working, you know, we saw what happened, especially with COVID. We had a 64% labor participation rate in this country. It dropped down to 62%. Now we're back up to about 62.5%. But we got to get more people out there working. The number one issue in my district in Northwest, West Central Ohio, that goes, and then also goes into Northeastern Ohio now, that we can't find people to work. And so it's absolutely essential we get people back to work. And we've got all these training programs out there that from our career centers to our two-year colleges, everybody's out there trying to get people trained. But we got to get people back to work.
All right, Congressman Bob Latta, we certainly are going to be watching very closely any developments over this holiday weekend. The June 1st issue we're definitely going to talk about throughout the morning as well. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Well, thanks very much. Have a great day.
You too.